Long before the Sahara became a desert, it was green. 8,000 years ago, this land was not an ocean of sand, but a vast, living landscape of lakes, rivers, grasslands, and acacia trees. Where dunes now stretch beyond the horizon, there once stood water, wildlife, and people. At sunrise, mist rises from a great freshwater lake. Birds cross the golden sky. The wind moves through tall savanna grass. On the shoreline, a circular settlement of sandstone and clay begins to stir. This is not a myth, it is a forgotten chapter of human history. The settlement stands beside the lake, built from stacked sandstone blocks and mud plaster walls. Smoke rises gently from small hearth fires. Clay vessels rest near the water's edge. Fishing nets, woven from reeds, dry in the early light. The people who live here understand this land. Their skin is dark from the sun. Their clothing is woven from plant fibers and leather. Around their necks hang beads carved from bone and stone. Their tools are simple but precise. They shape their world with patience and intention. Beyond the settlement stands something larger. A circle of towering sandstone monoliths rises from the earth. The stones are not random. They are placed with care, each one upright, each one aligned. From above, the geometry becomes clear. The stone circle follows the movement of the sun. At midday, the shadow of the tallest monolith cuts across a carved line in the ground. The alignment is deliberate. It marks time. It marks season. It marks change. This is more than a village. It is a community with knowledge. The lake sustains them. Reed boats glide across shallow water. Herds of grazing animals move across the savanna. Fish are plentiful. The soil is dark and fertile. Life here is stable. But stability is fragile. The first signs are subtle. The shoreline pulls back, only slightly at first. Wet earth appears where water once stood. The air feels warmer. The wind grows drier. Animals begin to migrate farther from the lake. No one panics. There is no sudden catastrophe. The elders return to the stone circle. They watch the sun's position. The shadow no longer aligns perfectly with the carved marker. The rhythm of the seasons is shifting. The lake shrinks. Where boats once floated freely, mud begins to crack under the sun. Clay storage pits must be dug deeper. Vegetation grows thinner at the edges of the settlement. Birds become fewer. The horizon appears hazy, almost pale. Years pass. The water retreats further. The great lake that defined this civilization becomes a shallow basin of isolated pools. Fishing nets lie abandoned on dry ground. The air carries dust. The stone circle still stands. Its carvings still hold meaning, but sand begins to gather at its base. Fine grains collect in the carved grooves. Wind reshapes the land slowly, persistently. Families prepare to leave. There is no fire, no war, no collapse in a single night, only a decision. Woven baskets are filled with tools and vessels. Stone implements are carried away. The final hearth fires burn low. The settlement grows quiet. Huts weaken without repair. Clay walls crack. Wind moves freely through abandoned doorways. The stone circle remains, silent witness to the changing sky. The lake disappears completely. What was once fertile ground becomes exposed earth, then dry plain, then wind-carved ripples of sand. Storms begin to sweep across the region, not violent enough to destroy in a day, but steady enough to erase in generations. Sand gathers around the monoliths, slowly burying their bases. Carved symbols fade beneath shifting dunes. The grasslands vanish. The acacia trees wither. The animals do not return. Centuries later, only the tips of the tallest stones remain visible above the dunes. The geometry of the circle survives beneath the surface, hidden but not gone. And eventually, even that disappears. The Sahara becomes what we know today, vast, silent, and dry. Beneath its dunes, however, lies the memory of water, of alignment, of a community that once read the sky
and built in stone beside a living lake. This was not a lost empire swallowed by the sea. It was a civilization erased by climate, not in a single moment, but grain by grain. And somewhere beneath the sand, the circle still waits.